There we go. Okay, for you on YouTube, we're going to go over King Lear, the last act again. We did read it last time. We did not discuss it in detail, as I remember. So we're going to start off today as a way to refresh our memories and get our tongues loosened up. We're going to read the initial pages of Act 5, the final act in King Lear, which involves Edmund, the bastard scoundrel, um, Cordelia, and Lear. And so off we go with that. And so it's Act 5, Scene 3, British camp near Dover. Enter in conquest with drums and colors. Edmund, Lear, and Cordelia. Prisoners, officers, soldiers, and etc. Edmund, please.
Some officers, take them away. Good guard, until your greater pleasures first be known, that are to censure them.
We are not the first who with best meaning have incurred the worst. For thee, oppressed king, I am downcast. Myself could else outfrown false fortune's frown. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
Okay, I think I'm Lear. No, 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 no. Come, let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds of the cage. When thou dost ask me blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies and hear poor rogues talk of court news. And we'll talk with them too, who loses and who wins, who's in, who's out, and take upon the mystery of things as if we were God's spies. And we'll wear out in the walled prison packs and sets of gray ones that ebb and flow by the moon.
Take them away.
Upon such sacrifices, my Cordelia, the gods themselves throw incense. Have I caught thee? He that parts us shall bring a brand from heaven and fire us hence like foxes. Wipe thine eyes. The Gogeries shall devour them, flesh and fell. Ere they shall make us weep, we'll see them starve first. Come. And exit Lear and Cordelia under guard.
Come hither, Captain, hark. Take thou this note, go follow them to prison. One step I have advanced thee, if thou dost, as this instructs thee, thou dost take thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Thy great employment will not bear question. Either say thou'lt do it, or thrive by any other means.
Okay, Orla, take the officer's part.
Oh, she's gone.
She's gone? Totally? All right, I guess I'll be the officer. I'll do it, my lord.
About it, and right happy when thou dost done. Mark, I say instantly, and carry it so as I have set it down.
I cannot draw a cart nor eat dried oats. If it be man's work, I will do it. Okay.
I do, Alvin.
Flourish. I'll enter Albany, Goneril, Regan, and soldiers.
Okay. Shall we, before we add in Albany, etc., shall we talk about this little bit we read?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But as you say, Edmund is full of himself.
Mm. In charge.
Very
Yeah.
much so at the moment.
And,
Yes.
and loving it.
And loving it. Yes, exactly. So it's interesting the range of emotions we have here. We have Edmund feeling himself very much in charge. We have Cordelia, who's very sad about losing. And we have Lear, who's in hog heaven, as they say. He's
Yeah.
really, thinking that being in a jail cell with Cordelia is like the big prize.
Mm.
We two alone will sing like birds in the cage. When thou dost ask me blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies and hear poor rogues talk of court news. So basically, Lear is imagining they're going to be in the position of the audience, of an audience, just like the people in the audience that are watching the play King Lear.
Mm.
I suppose as king, he's well used to being the center of attraction, if not attention. This is going to be a turnaround.
Well, I think that's what I think a considerable part of the play is exactly that is the theme of it, of him moving away from having to be the center of attention to him willing to be a spectator and being content with it.
But so it's about transformation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's totally transformed.
According to this speech, yes.
And I love that line, as if we were God's spies.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is exactly the role that the holy person takes. The hermit, the holy person who's not involved with culture or politics.
He also seems to expect that when he says we'll wear out in a walled prison, he expects to be there for some time.
Yeah,
But Edmund, on hearing that, suddenly shouts to take them away, and then he goes and gives instructions to the captain to kill them.
that's an interesting question, Des. Now, does Edmund actually hear them?
Well, he's there.
He is there. Good
Is
point.
Lear still confident in kingliness that he would say that in front of Edmund, even though they know what Edmund is? That he's confident that his kingliness will protect him from any more bad things?
I'm not sure that he's confident that his kingliness will protect him. I just think that he is not imagining that Edmund would have them killed. That Edmund would be content just with taking over.
I suppose he's had a lifetime of being in charge and
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't expect anything else other than what he thinks will come.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the notes say.
It is interesting. We really don't know how Lear became king. Whether he was born into it. There's no mention of the previous king. So we don't know whether he was born into it or he, through his own efforts, became king. The Japanese version by Kurosawa, we know that the Lear in that one became lord by his own efforts and was not born into it. But here in the actual Shakespeare play, I don't think we know. Anyway, we now let's go ahead and move on. I think that's as much of a gloss as we need on those first pages. So we need an Albany, a Goneril, and a Regan. Who would like to be Albany?
I'll do it.
Okay. And Des, you want to continue as Edmund?
Yes, take Edmund, yes.
Okay. And then we need a Reagan.
I'll do a Reagan.
Okay.
Was I doing
And we
Reagan?
need a Goneril. I'll do Goneril. All right. On we go. Flourish. Enter Albany, Goneril, Reagan, officers and attendants.
Sir, you have showed today your valiant strain, and fortune led you well. You have the captives who were the opposites of this day's strife. I do require them of you, so to use them, as we shall find their merits and our safety may equally determine.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention and appointed guard, whose age had charms in it, whose title more, to pluck the common bosom on his side and turn our impressed lances in our eyes, which do command them. With him I sent the queen. My reason all the same, they are ready, tomorrow or at further apace, to appear where you shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed. The friend hath lost his friend, and the best quarrels in the heat are cursed by those that feel their sharpness. The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place.
Sir, by your patience, I hold you but a subject of this war, not as a brother.
That's as we list to grace him. Methinks our pleasure might have been demanded ere you'd spoke so far. He led our powers, bore the commission of my place and person, the which immediacy may well stand up and call itself your brother.
Not so hot. In his own grace he does exalt himself more than in your edition.
In my rights by me invested, he compeers the best.
That were the most if he should husband you.
Jesters do often prove prophets.
Hola, hola, that eye that told you so looked but a squint.
Lady, I'm not well, else I should answer from full flowing stomach. General, take thou my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them, of me, the walls are thine. Witness the world that I create thee here, my lord and master.
Mean you to enjoy him?
The let alone lies not in your goodwill.
Nor in thine, Lord.
Half-blooded fellow, yes.
Let the drum strike and prove my title thine.
Stay yet, hear reason. Edmund, I arrest thee on capital treason, and in thine attaint this gilded serpent. For your claim, fair sister, I bar it in the interest of my wife. 'Tis she is subcontracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your bans. If you will marry, make your loves to me. My lady is bespoke.
An interlude.
Thou art armed, Gloucester. Let the trumpet sound. If none appear to prove upon thy person thy heinous, manifest, and many treasons, there is my pledge. He throws down a glove. I'll make it on thy heart, ere I taste bread. Thou art nothing less than I have here proclaimed thee.
Sick, oh, sick.
If not, I'll ne'er trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world is he that names me a traitor? Villain-like, he lies. Call by the trumpet, he that dares approach on him, on you, who not? I will maintain my truth and honour firmly.
A herald, ho!
A herald, ho! A herald!
Trust to thy single virtue, for thy soldiers, all levied in my name, have in my name took their discharge.
My sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent.
Exit Reagan led. Albany. Few more words, Orla.
Come hither, herald. Let the trumpet sound and read out this. He hands the herald a paper.
Okay. So maybe, well, we have our choice. I think we should stop here and go over what this part, even though there's some more. How much more is there? Yeah, there's a whole bunch more. So I think this is a good place to stop and to look at some of this. If there were just a
Yes.
few more lines, we could go on, but there's, it gets more complicated. Mm, okay, so here we go. So I find it interesting. Albany's first statements to Edmund are pretty neutral. As a matter of fact, positive towards Ed. Sir, you have shown today your valiant strain, and fortune led you well. You have the captives who were the opposites of this day's strife. We do require them, so to use them as we shall find their merits and our safety may equally determine.
Get it that Albany considers himself to be the top dog.
He does, and that becomes apparent after Edmund makes this long speech where he is basically considering himself Albany's equal and taking charge.
Yeah.
But Albany is asking for the prisoners back. He wants to make use of them.
Don't today your valiant strain. We do require them, so to use them as we shall find their merits and our safety may equally determine.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because I think we should not forget that Cordelia has a husband with an
Still,
army.
yeah.
So I would think that a more a statesman-like person would want to use Cordelia as a bargaining chip with the
Mm.
King of France.
Yeah, while Edmund just wants them dead.
Edmund just wants them dead. Hmm.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah, just
there's a
seeing that.
question, why does Edmund want them dead?
Possibly for the same reason that if they're alive and Albany combined with them, then he is in a serious position. He still hasn't really committed himself to either Regan or what's her name, Goneril.
Honorable. Hmm.
He's playing them.
He is.
But I mean, at this particular point, as far as Edmund knows, neither Lear nor Cordelia know about his double dealing.
Suspected, I would think, but not. No, they don't know.
And I think we as audience can be confident that they probably don't know because, or, at least that Lear doesn't know because Lear's, Lear's in La La Land. He's, Lear's thinking, oh, well, we're going to be tossed into a prison cell, Cordelia and I, and we're going to have a grand old time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Albany wants to use the prisoners as collateral or as a shield.
I think so. I mean, it makes sense that he wants to keep Cordelia safe
Mm.
because there's still the King of France, and the King of France still has an army. And Albany is more of the diplomatic type anyway.
Yeah. Edmund is saying here that I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention,
Hmm.
whose age had charms in it, to pluck the common bosom on his side. In other words, to take the common people back on the king's side and
Mm.
turn our impressed lances back into our own eyes. And with him, I sent the queen for the same reason. But he doesn't mention that he wants them dead.
No, no, no. He's definitely not going to mention that. That's between him and the assassin. I
I
think
suppose
Edmund is well aware that Albany would never agree to that.
no, 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 no. But I mean, it's the same reasoning that if the king is alive and the Queen of France, that they're likely to be a threat to Edmund with his new power. So whether he locks them up or kills them, it's the same thing. They're not going to be able to do the damage.
Well,
I mean,
Edmund,
yeah,
yeah.
Albany wants them for the same reason.
Well, Albany wants them as bargaining chips, and he wants them also to work out something. Edmund is trying to pull a Jeffrey Epstein.
Explain.
He wants them killed without having them executed.
Epstein knew too many people.
Epstein, I mean, different people have different views on it, but there is a lot of suspicious stuff involved in Jeffrey Epstein's death.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Too many coincidences. But, the coincidences and the confusion have more or less served their purpose in dividing public opinion as to whether Epstein was killed or whether Epstein killed himself.
Yeah, I mean, the question always is there is how much did the authorities know
Mm-hmm.
and how much did they determine? It reminds me of the attack of Israel or the what do you call them, Hamas on the Israeli kibbutz. And I don't think anybody will ever persuade me that neither Shin Bet nor what was it called?
Yeah. Hamas.
No, Shin Bet and Mossad
Oh,
could
okay.
only ever convince me that they knew nothing about it.
Yeah, I
It
understand.
doesn't seem possible
Well,
to me.
it was very convenient that it happened just after everybody was protesting in Israel against the implementation of a security state.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly the same situation with Epstein. It's too dangerous to leave it alive. These guys wanted to let it go and shut down everything else. I don't think they expected it would turn out the way it did. Shin Bet and Mossad, I don't think they expected that.
They did not expect as much of a massacre.
No, no.
But anyway, coming back to here, um, we have these very few lines by Albany, which tell us very clearly what Albany's attitude is. And the lines are after Edmund's big speech, where he's basically kind of telling Albany what to do and what he's done. Albany says, Sir, by your patience I hold you but a subject of this war, not as a brother.
Yeah. What? We're not equal.
We're not equal, buddy.
It's putting him in his place, yes.
He is putting them in his place, which I would assume, I mean, to this point, Albany has been portrayed as a milquetoast, which is why Goneril wants to substitute Edmund for Albany. She considers Edmund more of a decisive male figure and a stronger person.
Yeah, but she's also got the hots for him.
Yes, well, that's why there is.
Yes, but it's Reagan who comes in and sticks up for him,
Yeah.
not as a brother. That's as we list to grace him as a brother. This is going completely against Albany.
Right,
Methinks
right.
our pleasure might have been demanded ere you had spoke so far. In other words, you might have consulted us before you said that. He led our powers both the commission of my place and person, to which immediacy may well stand up and call itself your brother. The commission
Hmm.
of my place and person, he's effectively taking her husband's place. What was her name?
Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Hmm.
And Goneril has to come in on top of that. Not so
Not so
much.
hot. Not so hot. In his own grace, he doth exalt himself more than in your addition.
Yeah.
But isn't it wonderful how Shakespeare layers up, you know, there's there's the different conflicts going on. The two women are now at war with each other. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
there are all these layers of conflict, and so it's really funneled into something really clever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was fascinated by how he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very clever. It does cause some confusion, but it is can be parsed out.
Mm.
And I like Goneril's criticism to Regan. Not so hot, dear sister. In his own grace he does exalt himself more than in your addition. In other words, Edmund is much more than just your instrument.
Is Goneril aware of Albany's resurgence? That
You mean was she in the room when he yeah, I think so.
well, I mean, just following here, Edmund has his spake. Albany contradicts him flatly and won't look at him as a brother. Regan comes in and says, "That's what we call him." But Goneril says, "Not so hot. In his own grace, he does exalt himself." In other words, he has his own powers, not
Yes, he's a
necessarily
brother.
as a
He's a
brother.
brother. He's a brother, even not connected to you.
Yes,
She's put him, in my rights by me, and then Reagan comes back with "in my rights by me invested, he compares the best," meaning
yes. Now,
because obviously,
yeah, and all the time, Albany is looking over Goneril's shoulder as she's saying this. She
uh-huh,
can't come out and declare her feelings too wildly with Albany behind her. So Reagan comes in, as you say, in my rights by me invested. In my rights by me, he compares the best. That's grand. And then Albany, they were the most, if he should husband you. Ouch.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not married to him yet,
Yeah.
Reagan. And then Reagan comes back, "Jesters do oft prove prophets." I mean, they're fighting, they're fighting right there in public. They're
Yes.
not, they're not holding back at all. Hola,
All
hola, that eye that told you so looked but a squint.
yeah, the jesters do oft prove prophets. Yeah, hang on a sec now. Take another look at that. You're not you're not applying it to yourself. Yeah, and then Reagan acknowledges it that she's not well. She tells to the general, "Take down my soldiers prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them of me. The walls are thine. Witness the world that I create thee here, my lord and master." Now that is directed straight at Edmund.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think general refers to Edmund.
Yeah.
So Edmund, take thou my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them of me, the walls are thine, witness the world that I witness world. I think that's what witness the world means. Means witness world, all you present here, that I create Edmund here, my lord and master. That's pretty upfront.
Yeah. Yes, earlier she said, what was it? He led our powers. So, he is the general.
Mm-hmm.
I create thee here, my lord and master.
Yeah, he led our powers, bore the commission of my place and person. Okay, and then we have this very interesting, I mean, Goneril's response to that is pretty simple. Mean you to enjoy him? Then
Mm.
Albany says, the let alone lies not in your good will. Hmm.
And who's he saying this to?
I think
Because
he's saying it to, I think he's saying it to Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan is trying to lay down the pathway for the outcome.
Yeah, she's doing the
Gone?
possession is 9/10 of the
Yeah.
law thing.
And Albany says, hang on a sec now, it's not your job. You don't have that power.
And then Edmund
Edmund,
comes back, nor in thine, Lord.
it's getting very hot here.
He's directly challenging Albany right there.
And Albany really slaps his face and says, half-blooded fellow. Yes.
but can you imagine, you know, Albany and Edmund were having this really serious conversation, which, could have led us to Albany really telling them what his place was. And then these two women come in and interrupt it. And
Mhm.
Albany by this time must be ready to explode by the whole
Mhm.
by the whole episode. He's standing there listening to all this and getting more and more angry.
Right. Well, one of the questions is, has Albany read the letter yet? At least I don't know if he has. Can anybody tell me whether he has actually read the letter? Does he know about about Edmund's double dealing?
I would think so. He goes on here. Well, Reagan says, let the drum strike prove my title on, go on, get on with it. And Albany says, stay, hang on a second, listen to a bit of reason. This is my reasoning, you're saying. Edmund, I arrest thee on capital treason, and in thy attaint, pointing to Goneril, this gilded serpent. For your
Goneril,
claim,
his
fair
wife.
sister, yeah, for your claim, fair sister, I bar it in the interest of my wife. Oh, that must be to Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
For your claim, fair sister, I bar it in the interest of my wife. Tis she is subcontracted to this lord, me,
Love that.
and I, her husband, contradict your banns. If you will marry, make your loves to me. My lady is bespoke.
Okay, you read it. Now can you interpret it for me?
I just getting into around a twisting back and forth here about who's referring to what.
Mhm.
Stay yet, hear treason, Edmund. I arrest you on capital treason, and in attaint this gilded serpent.
So he's arresting not only Edmund, he's arresting his wife,
His wife.
Goneril.
She is attainted by Edmund
Well,
gilded.
Goneril's the one who wrote the letter.
Yes, so he must have read it
Okay,
or
yeah,
Mm.
heard
he
of it.
must have read it. So this whole time in the this whole scene from the very beginning, Albany knows what's up. He knows that both his wife and Edmund are traders and
Yeah,
double dealers.
I love that. She is subcontracted to this lord. Just, and then my lady is bespoke. I thought that was a modern word.
So what
As
is
in bespoke tailoring. That's where I've heard that word before, bespoke tailoring. That
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
so it's
It's
my
very
lady
much
is
yeah,
spoken for.
yeah. It's a word used in Regent Street quite a bit.
Hmm.
I wonder what Goneril means by an interlude. Is this a pause before the two guys take up arms?
Hmm.
let's see, never trust medicine. Let's see back here. And interlude. So that's line 90. Bestoke. Going to the line bespoke. This is a note I have on bespoke. Albany's humor in this scene adds a new dimension to his character as he sees the absurdity of his own situation. Then it goes Goneril, interlude. An interlude or farce was originally a comic entertainment staged to fill an interval in a longer feast or play. Some addition adds Goneril interjection here, a conscious dramatic pointer to a little play within a play. Well, if I understand Albany's saying, after Albany, if thou wilt marry, he's saying this to Reagan.
It must
If
be.
thou wilt marry, make your love to me. My lady is bespoke, which is totally hilarious. He's saying, hey, Goner, hey, Reagan, you might as well marry me because Goneril's already taken by Edmund.
Reagan's taken by Edmund, is it?
Um,
It is confusing.
Hmm. And bespoke could mean spoken for as well.
yeah, my lady is bespoke means spoken for. Edmund
Hmm.
has already agreed to take somebody as a wife.
Would an interlude be that she's belittling the spat between the two, between Albany and Edmund, in the light of the greater battle?
That's not my interpretation. My present interpretation, which is subject to immediate change, is an interlude, is Goneril saying, this is a little too crazy for me. Let's take a break and think about this.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, yeah.
So Albany is married to Goneril. He's just announced that he's going to arrest his own wife. Edmund, I arrest thee on capital treason, and end I arrest this gilded serpent. And he's pointing to Goneril. So I think Albany is planning to arrest both Edmund and his own wife.
Yeah, that would put the wind up Goneril completely, and she hangs on and said, "Shout! Wait a minute, now, an interlude. Let's take a break here a bit."
Well,
Yeah, maybe,
we're
yeah, yeah.
not even quite to there yet, because after he basically calls Goneril a serpent and tells her that he's going to arrest her also, he turns to Regan and says, "For your claim, fair sister, I bar it in the interest of my wife." He's kind of making a very dark joke, a really incredibly dark joke. I bar it in the interest of my wife. 'Tis she is subcontracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your bans. And then he tells Regan, this is to complete the joke. If you, Regan, will marry, make your love to me. My lady is bespoke. Very complex.
Does it mean that, well, he's not, Edmund is not royalty.
No, Edmund is not royalty. He is.
So when, if you will marry, her husband, I'm royalty, contradict your bans. Well, fair enough about contradicting his bans. If you will marry, make your loves to me. That word loves, make your obeisance or some such to me as husband of the royal daughter.
I
The
th
lady is bespoke.
yeah, I think it's deliberately ambiguous.
Mm.
It's a very elaborate joke. But the interpretation I'm going with is that he is making a joke here. At the same time, he's arresting Edmund and his own wife for treason.
It is a joke,
And
isn't it?
it's a really wicked joke.
Mm.
Because he's announcing the arrest of Edmund and the arrest of his own wife, Goneril, both on capital treason. This is my interpretation. Then he turns to Regan and says, "Well, Regan, you can't marry Edmund because he's already you can't marry Edmund because my wife is going to marry Edmund. And I, Albany, her husband, contradict your bans." And then he says to Regan, "If you, Regan, will marry, make your love to me. My lady is bespoke." Very convoluted, very wicked joke. And then Goneril is overcome with all this craziness and yells out, an interlude. Kind of like, let's take a break. This is giving me a headache.
Yeah.
Thou art armed, Gloucester. Let the trumpet sound. If none appear to prove upon thy person thy heinous manifest and many treasons, there is my pledge. I'll prove it on thy heart ere I taste bread. Thou art in nothing else than I have here proclaimed thee.
Well, he's certainly acknowledging Edmund as the Earl of Gloucester.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. Yeah, you may remember Cornwall made Edmund the Earl of Gloucester right before
Yeah,
he was killed.
yeah.
Actually, I guess he was dying when he made Edmund the Earl of Gloucester.
Yes, yeah.
And then Reagan screams out, "Sick, oh sick!" And I'm surprised there's not a direction. Maybe some of you all have stage directions. I think they've actually. I think Reagan has actually drinking poison served by Goneril.
Yes, yeah.
When did that
Because
happen?
then she tells us, uh, I'll never trust the medicine, you know, that she's given. Yeah. Because that's an aside. Conroe.
Yeah. She's not telling everybody. She's telling herself. If not, I'll never trust medicine.
Mm. What's this throwing down the glove? Is that agreeing to a duel or what is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that Albany is actually planning on directly fighting with Edmund.
Mm.
So it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
He throws down the gauntlet.
Throws
All
down the
right.
gauntlet. Now prove it on thy heart. So I'm calling you a traitor, and I'm going to have a duel with you, and I'm going to kill you as a traitor. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a duel before we eat again. And then Reagan, sicko's sick, and we find out Goneril's poisoned her. Then Edmund, there's my exchange. He throws down a glove. What in the world he is that names me traitor, villain like he lies. Call by thy trumpet. He that dares not approach on him, on you who not, I will maintain my truth and honor firmly. And now, and now we're almost going to have a change here. Okay, whoever was Albany, let's start from where Edmund says, there's my exchange. Who is Edmund?
I'm Edmund.
Okay, you're Edmund.
A herald. Oh, a herald.
Trust to thy single virtue, for thy soldiers all levied in my name have in my name took their discharge.
True.
Reagan, my sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Come hither,
Excellent.
herald. Let the trumpet sound and read out this.
Sound trumpet. Boop, boop, boop.
If any man of quality or degree within the lists of the army will maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor. Let him appear by the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense. Trumpet.
Edmund.
Again.
Okay, third trumpet. Trumpet answers within. Enter Edgar, armed with a trumpet before him.
Albany to Harold. Ask him his purposes, why he appears upon this call of the trumpet.
What are you? What
ahead,
are
Susan.
you? Your name, your quality, and why you answer this present summons.
I'll be Edgar. No, my name is lost by treason's tooth, bear, gnawed, and canker bit. Yet am I noble as the adversary I come to cope.
Which is that adversary?
Yeah, you're Albany. I'm sorry I interfered. Go ahead, Orla.
I said it. Which is that adversary?
What's he who speaks for Edmund, Earl of Gloucester?
Himself. What sayest thou to him?
Draw thy sword, that if my speech offend the noble heart, thy arm may do thee justice. Here is mine, behold, it is the privilege of mine honors, my oath and my profession. I protest, maugre thy strength, youth, place, and eminence, despite thy victor sword and fire new fortune, thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor, false to the gods, thy brother and thy father, conspirant against this high illustrious prince, and from the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust below thy foot, a most toad-spotted traitor. Say thou no, this sword, this arm, and my best spirits are bent to prove upon thy heart whereto I speak. Thou liest.
In wisdom I should ask thy name, but since thy outside looks so fair and warlike, and that thy tongue may say of breeding breaths, what safe and nicely I might well delay, but by rule of kingdom, I disdain and spurn. Back I do toss these treasons to thy head, with the hell-hated lie o'erwhelm thy heart, which, for they yet glance by and scarcely bruise, this sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak.
Alarms, they fight. Edmund falls.
Save him, save him.
I think I'm goner also. This is practice, Gloucester. By the law of arms, thou wast not bound to answer. An unknown opposite, thou art not vanquished, but cozened and beguiled.
Shut your mouth, Dame, or with this paper shall I stopple it. Hold, sir, thou worse than any name, read thine own evil. No tearing,
No,
lady.
tearing. I think it's tearing.
Oh, tearing. No tearing, lady. I perceive you know it.
Gives the letter to Edmund. Goneril, say if I do, the laws are mine, not thine. Who can arraign for it?
Most monstrous. Oh, knowest thou this paper?
Edmund.
Goneril.
Goneril, ask me
Next one is
not what I
Edmund.
know.
Okay.
Go
And
after
she
her.
goes.
Go
Albany, go
after
after.
her. Go after her. She's desperate. Govern her. The soldier
Excellent,
answered.
officer.
Mr. goes, what you have charged me with, that I have done, and more, much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou? Thou hast this fortune on me. If thou'rt noble, I do forgive thee.
Let us exchange charity. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund. If more, the more thou hast wronged me. My name is Edgar, and thy father's son. The gods are just, and of our pleasant vices make instruments to plague us. The dark and vicious place where thee he got cost him his eyes.
Thou'st spoken right, 'tis true. The wheel is come full circle. I am here.
Albany to Edgar. Methought thy very gait did prophesy a royal nobleness. I must embrace thee. Let sorrow split my heart if ever I did hate thee or thy father.
Worthy prince, I know it.
Where have you hid yourself? How have you known the miseries of your father?
By nursing them, my lord. List the brief tale, and when 'tis told, oh, that my heart would burst. The bloody proclamation to escape that followed me so near. Oh, our lives' sweetness, that we the pain of death would hourly die, rather than die at once, taught me to shift into a madman's rags, to assume a semblance that very dogs disdained. And in this habit met I my father with his bleeding rings, their precious stones new lost, became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair. Never, O fault, revealed myself unto him until some half hour passed when I was armed. Not sure, though hoping of this good success, I asked his blessing, and from first to last told him my pilgrimage, but his flawed heart, alas, too weak the conflict to support, twixt two extremes of passion, joy, and grief, burst smilingly.
This speech of yours hath moved me, and shall perchance do good. But speak you on. You look as if you had something more to say.
If there be more woeful, hold it in, for I am most ready to dissolve hearing of this.
This would have seemed a period to such as love not sorrow, but another to amplify too much would make much more, and top extremity. Whilst I was big in clamor, came there a man who, having seen me my worst estate, shunned my abhorred society, but then finding who 'twas that so endured, with his strong arms he fastened on my neck and bellowed out, as he burst heaven, threw him on my father, told the most piteous tale of Lear and him that ear received, which in recounting his grief grew puissant, and the strings of life began to crack. Twice then the trumpet sounded, and there I left him tranced.
But who was this?
Kent, sir, the banished Kent, who in disguise followed his enemy king and did him service improper for a slave. Enter a gentleman with a bloody knife. Somebody take gentleman.
Help, help,
Uh,
oh help.
What kind of help?
Speak, man.
What means that bloody knife?
'Tis hot, it smokes. It came even from the heart of, oh, she's dead.
Who dead? Speak, man.
Your lady, sir, your lady, and her sister by her is poisoned. She confesses it. I was contracted to them both, all three, now marry in an instant.
Here comes Kent. Albany.
Produce the body, be they alive or dead. This judgment of the heavens that makes us tremble touches us not with pity. Oh, this is he. The time will not allow the compliment which very manners urges.
Well, I do can't. I am come to bid my king and master, aye, good night. Is he not here?
Great king of us, forgot. Speak, Edmund, where's the king? And where's Cordelia?
Continue.
Goneril and Regan's bodies brought out. Seest thou this object, Kent?
Alack, why thus?
Yet Edmund was beloved. The one the other poisoned for my sake, and after slew herself.
Even so, cover their faces.
I pant for life. Some good I mean to do, despite mine own nature. Quickly send, be brief in it, to the castle, for my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Nay, send in time.
Run, run, oh run!
Albany.
Edgar?
Edgar.
No, well, I have Albany. The gods defend her and bear him hence a while. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay, Edgar. To whom, Lord? Who has the office? Send thy token of reprieve.
Well thought on. Take my sword, give it to the captain.
Albany.
I have Edgar to a soldier, haste thee for thy life. And then
Okay.
Edmund to Albany.
Okay, Edmund.
Wait, no, hang on a sec. Hasty for, oh yeah.
Albany, my copy, it has, Albany says, haste thee for thy life. And then Edgar
hurries forth, yes. Edmund, he had commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison and to lay the blame upon her own despair, that she forbid herself.
The gods defend her. Bear him hence a while.
Okay, enter Lear with Cordelia dead in his arms, Edgar, officer, and others. Lear, who is Lear?
You were.
Oh, I don't. How, oh, you are men of stones. Had I your tongues and eyes, I'd use them so heaven's vault should crack. She's gone forever. I know when one is dead and when one lives. She's dead as earth. Lend me a looking glass. If that her breath will mist or stain the stone, why then she lives. Is this the promised end?
Or the image of that horror? Albany.
Fall and cease.
This feather stirs, she lives. If it be so, it is a chance which does redeem all sorrows that ever I have felt. Oh, my good master, prithee, away.
'Tis noble Kent, your friend.
A plague upon you, murderers, traitors all. I might have saved her. Now she's gone forever. Cordelia, Cordelia, stay a while. What thou sayest? Her voice was ever soft, gentle, and low, an excellent thing in a woman. I killed the slave that was a hanging thee.
'Tis true, my lord, he did.
Did I not, fellow? I have seen the day with my good biting falchion. I would I would have made him skip. I'm old now. And these same crosses spoil me. Who are you? Mine eyes are not the best, I'll tell you straight. Does somebody want to do Kent?
If
Do Kent.
fortune brag of two, she loved and hated, one of them we behold.
This is a dull sight. Are you not Kent?
The same, your servant Kent. Where is your servant Cassius?
He's a good fellow, I can tell you that. He'll strick and quickly too. He's dead and rotten.
Okay.
Kent.
Yes.
Okay, Lear.
No, Kent.
And
No, my
Kent.
good lord. No, my good lord, I'm the very man. I'll see that straight.
That from your first of difference and decay have followed your sad steps.
You are welcome hither.
Nor no man else. All's cheerless, dark, and deadly. Your eldest daughters have forgone themselves and desperately are dead.
Aye, so I think.
he knows not what he says, and vain is it that we present us to him.
Very
bootless.
bootless. Enter an officer. Officer, Edmund is dead, my lord.
That's but a trifle here. You lords and noble friends know our intent. What comfort to this great decay may come shall be applied. For us we will resign during the life of this old majesty, to him our absolute power, you to your rights, with boot and such addition as your honours have more than merited. All friends shall taste the wages of their virtue, and all foes the cup of their deservings. Oh, see, see.
And my poor fool is hanged. No, no, no life. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life? And thou no breath at all. Thou, it'll come no more. Never, 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 never. Pray you undo this button. Thank you, sir. Do you see this? Look on her lips. Look there, look there. He dies.
He faints. My lord, my lord.
Break heart, I prithee break.
Look up, my lord.
Vex not his ghosts, oh let him pass. He hates him that would upon the rack of this rough world stretch him out longer.
He is gone indeed.
The wonder is he hath endured so long. He but usurped his life.
Bear them from hence. Our present business is general woe. Friends of my soul, you twain, rule in this realm, and the gorged state sustain.
I have a journey, sir, shortly to go. My master calls me. I must not say no.
Albany.
No,
I don't
Edgar.
have Edgar.
Oh, really? Okay, well, mine's different. Sorry about that. Anyway, mine says Albany, but I'll read it. The weight of this sad time we must obey. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say. The oldest has borne most. We that are young shall never see so much nor live so long. Exit with a dead march.
Last
Uh,
speech. That last speech is by Edgar, according to my
Yeah.
script here.
Okay, okay. Well, my Delphi edition says Albany. And let's see what my Ardwin I consider to be a better edition. Let's see, man, that just goes on and on and on. Yes, okay. In my Arden edition, it does say Edgar.
Edgar.
But I think you had Albany a few times, I think,
Mm.
um, Duncan, in
You
your
mean where
edition.
where the names were incorrect? Maybe so.
Well, I don't know, but I thought that at some points.
Okay, okay. I wouldn't doubt it.
Anyway,
There's a
there's a
lot of
lot in
there's
that.
a lot of confusion among the different texts from Shakespeare in my experience.
Mm, there you
I'd like
are.
to just try and clear one thing. Um, there's the English forces, which were commanded by Edmund
And
in the
Albany.
name of Regan, and Albany had his own forces. Now, Goneril acknowledged Edmund as the general of the forces, and that's why she'd call him brother, according to her. But does Ed Edgar joins the party here, and he has men behind him. But what happened to Albany's? Did Albany order his forces to disband and go home? Did
I
I?
don't think so.
There's something in that there somewhere.
Albany should be the one with at least as many forces as the Duke of Cornwall would have had.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, if Edmund was totally in charge of all the forces, Albany didn't have any way to arrest him. Seems to me.
Hmm.
But I tell you what, Shakespeare really likes these, at least sometimes these endings that go on, and tragedy after tragedy piles up.
Hmm.
So you pretty much have a mountain of bodies.
Does that mean that Kent went off to die
I
because he had
think
nothing
so.
to
I
do?
think so. That's my interpretation of that line.
Oh, and the note that I have in this Folger from the Folger Library, it says, as Albany makes plans to restore Lear to the throne, Lear himself dies. So is Albany a reasonably good guy?
Yeah, yeah. Albany ends up being the last, well, he and Edgar. But by rights, I mean, don't ask me to go into who would be king after this. Um,
The only two alive out of the 10 or so.
Yeah.
yeah, Albany and Edgar are the only ones standing.
Couldn't fight at
And
the
I would
OK Corral.
assume, I don't know the rules of succession here, but I would think that even though I would guess that Albany became king.
Yeah, I would say so, yes. He would take the power.
Well,
And
shall
Edgar
we?
becomes Gloucester then.
Yeah.
Yes, Edgar will become the Earl of Gloucester and probably Albany's right-hand person.
Mm.
Yeah. Shall we declare that King Lear is done?
Well done.
Yeah.
I still have to get the right kind of DVD player, whatever it's called, HD player, and to get the King Lear, the Kurosawa version of King Lear.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then I can look with having read it, I'll appreciate it more.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I certainly did when I went to see the recent Macbeth, you know.
Mhm.
It really did help to know the text intimately.
Mhm.
Because I felt there were times where if you didn't hear the dialogue, that you wouldn't know who was who. I mean, that's what I felt in it.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm sure that's true. These are very complex stagings.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, I'm gonna bid everyone a good weekend.
yeah.
Enjoy the time change.
Mm.
Be aware, for those of you who participate in other readings next week, that the times will be off
I don't
between
know.
the
I'll have to
day.
work it out. I'll have to look at Texas and see 1 o'clock in Texas.
Our time will be 6 o'clock to log on.
Yes, I think so.
Well,
6 o'clock. Yeah,
and
where you normally log on at 7. Well, Sylvia, you're the exception since you're in Florence. So you
I'll
would
be
be logging
7 then.
on at 7 o'clock.
If you're
Yeah,
from, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and that'll just
yeah.
for next week, and then we'll change our time the following Sunday. Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Well, thanks, folks.
Oh.
Enjoyable
Good
evening.
night.